guys, it's Tony Robbins. You're listening to Habits and Hustle. Crush it.
Today on Habits and Hustle, we have Saeju Jeong, who, if you haven't heard of him, is the co-founder and CEO of the massively successful weight loss app, Noom. Noom is very different than all the other apps out there because it's a psychology-based program that it empowers you to make healthier choices by better understanding yourself and your brain. And really why I wanted to sit down with Saeju, I wanted to pick his brain because yes, the program is extraordinarily effective, but more than that, he built a company that has really dominated in an industry where fitness and wellness, it's such a saturated marketplace. And he really does, Noom does shine through. They recently raised another $540 million, which makes this the largest ever VC deal in the global, mobile, and digital health space. We talk all about his philosophies personally and professionally. And we discuss how you really build employee morale, how you can really pivot in your careers. He's a serial entrepreneur. He was a heavy metal, he still is, a heavy metal, just lover, and had a record label in South Korea for heavy metal, and then sold it, moved to the US, and him and his co-founder had to do many iterations of Noom to make it to what it is today. So it's a story about not just resilience, but of also just constantly taking your idea and continually to grow and dominate when you have so much other people in the space competing with you. And well, you'll listen for yourself and let me know what you think. Enjoy. Today on Habits and Hustle, we have Saeju Jeong. I said it correctly, correct?
Yeah, beautiful.
Yes.
Perfect.
Thank you. Who is the founder of Noom, which is, in my opinion, one of the greatest health, wellness, behavioral apps on the market that's been. So he's going to tell us all about his journey, what makes Noom special, and the growth that they've had is just extraordinary. So, and your background is extraordinary. So I'm really happy to have you on the podcast. Thank you for being here.
My sincere honor. Thanks for having me today, Jennifer.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So like I said, Noom is interesting because you guys have been progressively getting more and more traction, more and more popularity. I've known about you guys for many years, as I've told you before. And I'm glad that the whole world is kind of now on board. But in 2019, you guys had your $200 million in revenue.
Correct.
200 in 2020 with COVID, you were at $400 million in revenue, which is insane. And from what I know you guys don't disclose your subscribers and downloads, but I think, aren't you guys like basically crushing everybody else by the millions?
Thank you, Jennifer, for the encouraging comments. That I can tell that Noom has been growing very well since 2016. That when we launched our Noom version, that the currently available for holistic approach and behavior change platform that deliver better weight management products. We are very thankful that the company has been growing well, and this is testimonial there is enough problem related to lifestyle management and weight management. So and also COVID-19. I think during the COVID-19 time that people were looking for how to upgrade their overall lifestyle and also seek for proactively invest in adopting healthier behavior overall. So Noom received more benefit, and we are very thankful. We want to make sure that we invest more to build a greater product that we can help many lives to form a healthy behavior. That's our company mission. And that's why we are here today.
Well, so then let's talk about it for a second. So what do you think makes Noom different than because this is a very saturated market, weight management, weight loss, health, wellness. There's so many apps. I've told you before, I even had I founded an app years ago, got acquired. And since then, I actually I was going to do another one. And when you look on the market, it's so daunting because there's so much competition. There's so many things to choose from. What makes you guys different than all the other apps out there?
We use psychology to build a behavior change platform. What that means, we found the company in 2008 because we had a good humanity and empathy to all mankind. Artem, my co-founder, and I, we were looking for how can we apply the scientific approach to healthcare issues and use technology to scale the service and touch a lot of lives to help them to get healthy. That was the beginning. And so I will get you, Jennifer, your question. We pivot a few times since we found the company. It was more fitness-driven product in the beginning and calorie counting product. And we learned weight management product weight management is the best way we can tackle the population health issues. And that's why we chose weight management. But the way make Noom different than the other players is that we need to tackle the root cause of problem. We need to also help our end users to learn why they could not have built a healthy habit if they had a hard time. So we pay attention to why, not only how. So we use psychology and we approach with behavior change because that's the way we can holistically form a healthy outcome. So that's the way that Noom has been differently built the product and receive a lot of good support. So mobile platform is the way we scale the service. We use technology to learn the pattern, how we help our end users build a better habit. Because behavior change is simply difficult, but by monitoring and learning from many cases, we have a better chance we can help the other next Noomer. And that is our know-how. They use technology by observing and monitoring and practicing better. We put with a human coach who is passionate about helping others. That is the Noom's like a triangle. Okay, technology, coach, behavior change. Yes.
Okay, no. So that's what that's what I love about the approach. There's a much more of a behavioral change, psychological element to it than just calorie counting. But how does it do you have like a bunch of how does it work? Like walk me through how you help change a behavior. I know you have 3,000 coaches, right, working for you?
Correct.
Right?
Correct. So
all right.
How does it work? So when users start the program, then we learn about what is their goal and what is their immediate health issues. And we want to learn their goal and we provide it back to them that what is the ideal program that how Noom can help the end users we call Noomers. Noomers can learn about 4 pillars: diet, nutrition, fitness, exercise, stress management, sleep, resting. Very important. And we don't just dump the knowledge. We apply in the psychology way. That's how we can help them to understand why they had a hard time and how this time is a different play, because as we change their overall behavior, they can adopt healthier lifestyle. Because our goal is we want end user or Noomers can adopt healthier lifestyle, which is designed for long lasting. So so we can get away from all the fad diets. That's the way we design a product. Now, we have a human coach that passionate and empathetic people and full time. And we have highly well-trained our coach and they want to help those end users. Same. We empower technology. So we're using technology to empower them. That way they can scale the service to many more and provide the best service to end users. That is the way they can motivate them, they can guide them, our end users, because simply the empathy cannot be made up. So that's the way we invite the human coach and use technology to scale the service. So that's the way we, day by day, we form a better habit and help our end users build the stronger 4 pillar again, diet, exercise, stress management, and sleep, slowly but surely, they can get a better, healthy habit. And that's the way we deliver a greater outcome.
Okay, so then you have all these coaches. Now you're saying they're full-time with you guys,
Yes.
right? So, okay, so let's say I subscribe to your app, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have access to that coach 24 hours? How does it work? Do they put a program? Like what's the process?
So we provide a goal specialist. So it's not like an immediate, like it's not like 24/7, like the call center concept. The coach will be assigned once you are ready to take a program. And then the coach will guide you, help you to set the weekly goal and hold accountable and motivate you and help you. And also any specific that information you need further than the program that we provide, then the coach right there will assist you, that help you to get there. So weekly basis, we provide the new goals, and the coach will respond within a day and support that and change the program based on your progress. And the coach will answer questions and provide further information as you need. That's the way the coach is interacting with our end users.
Okay, so that sounds like a lot of accountability to me, right?
Correct, Jennifer. Yes.
So where's the psychology part? So let's say I want to lose 20 pounds, right? And I have a coach who keeps me accountable, has my program. Does the coach have a psychology background? Like, I'm just trying to understand. So, is it more of a psychologist or a trainer or?
So psychology is the way we help our end users understand the relationship with food and the difficulty of building the healthy habit. So coaches are well trained. They don't necessarily need to have a psychology background. Most of our coaches are bachelor degree psychology, but it's not mandatory requirement. But we train them to become the lifestyle coach, and they guide our end users. Hold accountability is one of the value, but it's not the major reason why a coach is there, because Noom is kind, and we want to help our end users to form a healthy habit organically, rather someone drill sergeant is yelling at our users. It doesn't work that way. So our coach is right there to make sure that someone is taking care of your progress and want to make sure that you stick with the program to build healthy habits and be there. So that's important, that someone who has a passion and has done that before, changing behavior, right there will take care of your journey. That matters. So that's the way we approach. Rather, our end Noomer is kind of asking every time what they eat, or because our program is very robust anyway. So our program is customized and provide the program based on your status and how you engage that. But our coach is right there as literally the coach. You are in the driver's seat. Coach is not going to drive your car, but coach is going to guide you and help you.
Yeah. I mean, and the growth has been, like you said, like it's been happening very progressively anyway. So, I mean, why do you think it was because people had a much more, when COVID happened and it doubled in terms of your revenue, would you think it was just because people were taking more life assessment on what was happening with them? And you guys, what kind of elements do you think kind of played in as a company to grow like that? For that many people to know about you. I mean, like I said, when you go on whatever you go to download an app, why? How did they? Was it more referral based? What do you think it was?
So Noom's approach is the way we launched our service is utilizing behavior changing platform. And also we obviously use mobile platform application based, and we invite a human coach rather just tool or application. It's like a tool, right? So it's a very holistic approach, and we are the pioneer of the behavior changing platform, and we are the category expander. And I think we were lucky in terms of timing, that not because of COVID-19. Prior COVID-19, company Noom was growing very well, thankfully. What happened was, our observation is, of course, we also address our service through the marketing channels, but users, the market was looking for the service that is working for a long-lasting result rather than bad diets. And people are looking for how to equip with higher lifestyle quality. Let me give you an example. Like, it became a very trendy now. Like, people wear the athleisure on a daily basis. People are looking for how to eat healthy, and people are looking for the general lifestyle quality, right? And then pay attention about what is the good quality of life. People are looking for more work-life balance. And COVID-19 time, the silver lining of COVID-19, is people are now reevaluating what is the priority of their life, right? Family value and overall health value. And mental health care is also became a quite important matter, pillar of the health. When people talk about health, mostly physical health before, but now people are aware the mental health is very important. Also, a lot of people are now looking for how to have a better sleep, to recharge and provide enough rest. So that's all positive, the advanced change in terms of overall wellness and healthcare sector. So the way Noom approach has been well received by millions of user base because they are simply looking for what service would be working for deliver the long-lasting result. And also, which service is developed approached by science rather than fad diet. Because unfortunately, a lot of weight loss market has been there's a lot of stigmatized experience by the service did not deliver a good result, or they could not fully build a healthy habit that can last for a long time. So it add more the burden in their life. So I think it was a time that people were looking for, and Noom was the designed in scientific way. So a lot of users appreciate that. That's why I think Noom's growth has happened in the last 6 years.
And so, yeah, I mean, I understand that. And, let's just turn the tables a little bit on you for a second, because you're a very interesting guy. This wasn't, you're from South Korea, and you founded like the first heavy metal record label, right? You love heavy metal, and that was your thing.
I do.
And how did you tell us a little bit about your story from that pivot from heavy metal to wellness, tech, or health or weight loss technology, kind of extraordinaire. Like, how did you kind of move from? No, you're welcome. How did you move from one to the other?
Thank you, Jennifer. So my story starts from South Korea. I was raised from a suburb area. It's called Yosu. It's a southern part of South Korea. And my father was a medical doctor. And my father operated a hospital with my uncles, brothers of him, right? And they're all doctors. And so my only memories were all like I was playing at the hospital and exposed enough about medical doctor's family, the story. And when I went to school, I failed to go to medical school. I was planning to go to medical school so I can succeed. His legacy and vision is my father wanted me to become a doctor as well, but I couldn't make that happen. So I felt very bad. So I went to school. I followed.
Why did you not like it? Did you not want to be a doctor, or you didn't get into medical school?
I want to become a doctor, but my SAT score is not strong enough to enter the medical school. I don't want to sugarcoat on that. That's the reality. So I felt bad to my parents a lot, but my father told me it's okay, pursue your passion. And then I followed my passion, which is heavy metal music. I love metal. I do listen to heavy metal music still today. I love heavy metal music. So
Who's your favorite?
My
band?
ultimate favorite, Jennifer, is Metallica. It's incredible band. It's a great music, great performer, entertainer. Metallica is my ultimate, always go to the band. And I do listen to a lot of recent heavy metal band as well, but you don't want me to speak about heavy metal all the time about over your podcast. So let me stop it.
Why not? I think it's very interesting. I like talking about this. Is the kind of stuff I like to talk about, people's habits.
I do love heavy metal music a lot. People ask why, and I have no answer. I just love it since I was in elementary school. I still love that. I listen to metal every day. So, and
wait, who are you listening to right now?
Oh wow, I just listened to Pantera. It's a classic heavy metal band.
Yeah, of course.
Pantera is a great band. It's just legendary good. And
Do you listen to like Def Leppard and Iron Maiden?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. Like, of course, it's my Friday, like evening, like my background music for sure. My kids love
That's hilarious. I used to, by the way, a little side note here. I used to love Def Leppard. I love Pour Some Sugar on Me. I love Love Bites. All of those songs were like, I loved
Still
it.
good.
So
Still good, Jennifer.
they're still great.
Oh, yeah.
They hold time. They're still great.
Oh, it's a very good. It's just like Beatles, right? It's a great music for sure. So, same.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not exactly like Beatles, but you know, a close second. A close second, maybe. Okay.
It's that good to me, but it's great music for sure. So I love heavy metal music. I follow the passion. That's how I found the company at age 19. So I went to school, but I didn't have an interest to follow the curriculum. So I found the company and heavy metal. In the beginning, I distributed music, and then I found the record label. It was quite good, successful to be honest. It was quite successful. It was good. It was good because people don't pay attention to heavy metal music, so people don't know. People don't think there's a market, but like there's like a lot of mania, right? People like spend dollars. People work hard to buy the heavy metal music CD by the time, CD and LP. So
100%. I totally agree with you. I used to work for a record label, so I know this very well.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of like people who love the post-beat genre. They just like devote everything, right? They
totally
spend a lot of time and money because it's important. Music's their life.
So did you find any like great heavy metal bands in South Korea, and are they still around? Are they making tons of money now? Like what's happened to them?
Yeah, they are still there. And I sometimes check over YouTube and watch their concert. It's incredible, still there, but I don't think they're making a ton of money. They didn't make a ton of money by then, but still same. But they follow their passion, which is admirable. I actually introduced a lot of European band to Korea and European and American band to Korea by the time, the heavy metal band, you know.
Wow. So is that label still around or is it gone?
No, it's gone. I consolidated with our competitor by the time. By the time that I came to the United States, I consolidate that.
Did you make any money off of the label?
I made pretty good money, to be honest. It was pretty good business, Jennifer.
Really? Yeah. How much did you make off of that business?
A few single $1 million. It was pretty good.
Wow. Look, and you were young. How old were you when you sold it?
I was early 20s.
That's how old are you now? You look like you're like 11 right now. How old are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm only 40 now.
You're 40? Oh my God. Well, your skin looks fantastic. You must have a great skin regimen. You look like you're like literally like 12. I mean, unless this is a great filter, you look so young.
No, I use Noom.
You use Noom. Well, there you go. Exactly.
Thank you.
All right. So now we got that part out of the way. So then how did you go from you sell your record label, your heavy metal record label for a few million or millions of dollars? Why did you move to the States then? What was the reason?
Very simple. So I always felt like, like when 20s, like they're looking for the career path at school, after school, right? So I had a question that I didn't prepare at all. I was pre-made, kind of like I need to follow the medical school and also become a doctor and succeed our family business, which is a hospital. But as soon as I failed to go to medical school, my life became like a reset. And I remember my 20s were quite like bumpy because first of all, I love what I did, which is heavy metal record label and distribution. And I was busy for running the business, learned the early version of the entrepreneurship, all that. So I was occupied for work, but I felt like always like at the end of the day, I felt like a little emptiness, like where am I going? That was the big question I always had. I was busy, but I was not fulfilled. And that was strange. So I could fulfill my schedule with a lot of work, and I did enjoy the work. But again, the emptiness was like it became snowball. And what I remember, I was 21, and my mom called me, and then I realized that something's wrong because my mom's voice was like a little like different, and then she said like, "Father is sick, so gotta gotta have family discussion. Oh my God, mom, we never had a family discussion. What do you mean? And then don't tell me my father is sick. And then we need to sit down and talk. And then I was like, oh my God, this is not gonna be good. And then we learned that our father got a terminal lung cancer, so we don't have much time left. So that completely changed my life perspective, meaning that the way I see the world, and I was lucky enough that I could spend some time with my father before he passed away. So that was kind of golden time for us. And I had a lot of discussion with my father, and my father helped me to set the priority of my life, why we are here. All those spiritual questions I had to, because as a man, my father was preparing for departure, and as a young man who is preparing for the future, right? So it was kind of very interesting, the moment of overlap. So my father gave me the best lessons and his perspective of life. And I observed as much as I could because I love my father. And also I was curious about the life. So for instance, we had the chance to discuss about, hey, Dad, why people die? Why we are here? The questions. Why do you have to leave first, right? And why we are here at this time? Why, right? The questions are really like heavy, and especially when my father struggled with the health condition, and he at the end he barely breathed because lung cancer symptom. He couldn't eventually.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
So it was a quite powerful conversation, and then he passed away. And I was in the army because our Korean men have served for the country, and then the army experience was very good for me, to be honest, because I needed to follow the manual and protocol as a soldier, and that actually helped me to clear my head. Because once my father passed away, I had a lot of questions. Why my father? My father helped so many lives as a good doctor, and my father was very healthy. But why my father has to be taken? And I had a lot of questions, Jennifer, just over the questions.
How old was he when he passed away?
He was 51.
Oh, so young.
Right. So
young.
he didn't even have a gray hair. So it was not easy for us. And then one day after my father passed away, around a year and after, I just realized something, that I will never ever figure why he passed away, why it has to be him. But I read, and my father actually left a very strong comment that he said, he said, it's okay that I leave early because my early departure will make you very strong, son. That's what he said. So don't cry. I know this is very abnormal, like, event. Most of the fathers stay longer than, like, probably me. So he said, this event will make you very strong. That's what he said. So that part is my last gift I can give it to you. But what made me feel very difficult, that I need to admit that I will be gone, that I know you will achieve success, and how you will achieve success, I don't know. But I know you will do that, but I wish I could be there, but I will not be there. So that made me feel very difficult. And that really, like, it was really heavy in my heart. So a year after, I thought about, like, whether I seek for why my father, let me use this energy to figure what I can do. Does it make sense to you, Jennifer?
Mm-hmm.
I spent a lot of my energy, and I was in the spiritual, like, soul searching time over a year, why, how, all that. And then I just woke up one day and, wait a second, I will not be able to answer that question. But why don't I pay attention that how I can do better and unleash my potential and do something good for the community, because it's simply nice. And then I knew that I need to get out from South Korea. Why is that? Because when I did first my business, I realized the world is so big, and my business was good, but I already saw the glass ceiling of the business. What that means, as you ask about what heavy metal music in Korea, good question. Why is that? There is a certain, like, the fans in South Korea to listen heavy metal music, but it's not going to be like big enough that I can continue to grow with that own market in South America.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized two things is limiting my opportunity to grow. Number one, overall the market. And number two, talent. Because a lot of talents that I can only access to Korean in Korea. But I know the world is fulfilled with great talent. Diversity is the beauty. That's how I chose New York City. Why is that? New York City, from my perspective by the time, and I think I was right, it's a center and capital of international city. It's very powerful, full of diversity. And I had a belief that if I come to United States, New York City, United States overall, but New York City, I felt like I can start a business with no prejudice behind. I can start it, and if I put my good effort, then I can do something good with no limitation. That's why I came to the United States in 2005.
Wow. And then, so was Noom your idea, or did you have, so it was your idea, you came up with this idea, and then what? How did you make an idea become an actual reality?
Very good, Jennifer. So 2005, I came, and I met my co-founder through random dinner, and then I fell in love with him, literally fell in love with him for three reasons. Number one, very sharp man. Number two, very humble. Number three, high integrity, very honest man. So I met him again, and then we got clicked. Like, wow, what a great person. And we became the best friend right away. And we hung out all the time. He was the tech lead at Google Map by then at Google. And then we discussed, wow, his name is Artem. And Artem and I, we hung out all the time every week. And it's interesting. The Silicon Valley leads a lot of technology companies are changing the world, literally change the way we interact with all the services. But what about healthcare? We had a general question as young people, just like we spend so much dollars, and like 18 or 90% GDP go to healthcare in the United States. But over service experience, kind of like question mark, right? And we spend so much dollars, yet we don't see the progress overall in like chronic condition management and obesity rate, all that. Why is that? We had a simple question. And then we had a very naive but the bold comment that because, first of all, the healthcare is not paying attention to the preventative way. It's more sick care, which what I learned from my father.
Yeah.
Number two, a lot of service providers not paying attention to patient first end users, because service has to be developed for the stakeholders. And there are so many stakeholders in healthcare. So the product might not answer clearly well to end user experience. So we had like aha moment. Artem and I had an idea. If we pay attention to end user experience and deliver great healthy outcome, then a great business will follow. We were naive, but we believe in that and still believe in it, to be honest. This is our business philosophy.
What year was this in? This was now
2007.
2007. And so you guys had this idea in 2007, or you had this idea?
Yes.
Okay. And he comes from a background of Google, obviously, with in the tech world.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that I was going to say is, did you find a partner also, besides integrity and humble and all that, who had characteristics that balanced out your strengths? So you guys complemented each other's strengths.
Absolutely, Jennifer. I had to. That's my leadership too, because I'm a man who has a vision and energy to drive that, but I need a lot of great people. And I'm very hungry to invite more great talent in Noom. And Artem was a good start. And Artem became my brother, business partner, and he's a great mentor to me now. He's amazing, amazingly smart and gifted man, very, very smart and a computer science background. So we do complement each other. And so he start with ideas, we can build this technology. Okay, then we start the business. That's Noom.
So wait, so what was your strengths? So if I were to ask, yes, and don't worry about not being humble. I'm asking you for the podcast, so I need to know. So he obviously brought in the tech side, the understanding of the back end. software. What was your strength? Was it vision, strategy, marketing?
I would say most importantly, my strength was I committed first. I started it.
Okay.
So I started.
And so your idea, your concept, your idea.
Yes. The thing is, it's a silly to say it's my idea, which one's ideas, but we had a concept, but someone had to start, and that was me. And I started it. And now
how?
I found the company.
How? So give me, what was the step one? So you have the idea. You're like, okay, I want to do a weight management company that has behavioral change. I have this friend who is a great guy, who has a great background. Okay, now what? Do you go out and raise $1 million? What's the next step?
Now I understand why you're looking for Jennifer. Let me go to the deeper level for you and for your the audience. So yes, I literally started and found the company. I used my the room. I had a roommate, and I registered the office as my room is office, and then I followed the lesson from the book. It's called Good to Great. It's written by it's a great book, by the way, Jennifer. You know that book.
I've read it. I love it.
Yes, ma'am. So like the book said, which company lasts more than a century, right? 100 years, right? And those company has one similarity. They don't build a business based on the ideas, right? They build the business based on like what the good people can build, change the world. And that was our approach. So we did not come up with, we have weight loss idea, weight loss bit technology. So let's found a company. That's not the way we found the company. We found a company with very high level commitment. We are going to use technology that approached by science to figure how we can help many lives. Use technology to scale the service, make it affordable in healthcare. That's it. And we found the company, and I started to raise capital. By raising capital, I need to also have a business plan and a prototype product. And Artem was moonlighting while he was working for Google for 2 years. And then he fully committed after 2 years. He fully joined, and he became my co-founder. So if you ask my strengths, my strength is like a persistence and resilience that I could.
Resilience.
Exactly. I could have done that. And over 2 years, it was not easy, to be honest, if I just self-regulate myself, because a lot of people are asking, including my family, my mom, my sister, my friends, and everybody's asking, what do you do? And I found a company. And so what is that? And I am figuring out right now, right? The product. And the investors, they don't want to even meet me because they don't have to. So that was a very difficult time.
You know, what's amazing is that, you know, I'm Jewish, right? So I come from a similar background where, you know, a lot of people in my family are doctors or lawyers, and that was the path, right? Like if to be successful, you must be a doctor or you must be a lawyer. Yeah. Right. But, you know, you took the path of least resistance. Well, you did not. You were like the black sheep kind of, but you've had such success. I mean, what does your family say now? Like Noom has been like that. I know these numbers maybe are wrong-ish, or maybe they're not 100% accurate, but I heard you guys were now evaluated at around like $3 or $4 billion, between 3 and 4 billion. You're not public. I know all that, but I mean, what is your family saying? What is your mom saying to you now? Right? Because that's way more than any doctor makes by a long shot, right?
It's interesting because I actually get the questions from friends. And it's interesting because my mom still calls me baby.
Yeah, of course. You are her baby, probably.
Exactly. I'm a father now. I got married and I have my children, but my mom literally called me baby because that's kind of how she accustomed to call me baby. So
Are you her baby or youngest kid? So child?
No, I'm the middle. I have 2 sisters, but I'm the middle.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's fun. Okay. But you have, so just what does she say about your success in it? Like, what does she think about it? She must be so proud.
Well, this is very touching. Good question. And thank you for asking that. This is the way my mom spoke to my father at last year at the anniversary day, right? The memorial day for our father. My mom said, "Your son built a platform that can help a lot of lives. He's not a medical doctor, but he does similar thing to what you did, scaled way, and even in global business." So life is good to see that Saeju built his own journey, and we miss him so much because we wish
I know.
he's here so we can have a family time together. That's all.
Yeah, I understand that for sure. It's very sad to lose somebody like that. So, like a parent so young, it's awful. So your mom is obviously very proud of you. And when you first started, how much money did you initially raise?
I could not raise at all, so I used my own the dollar that I had, $30,000, and Artem also put around a similar amount of dollars, and that was our seed money. And we were
30,000?
Yes.
Wow.
We bootstrap a lot, and I was extremely frugal to save every dollars, but use every possible resources to build the better the product ideas and business plan. By the time I still have actually at our office, I printed out our early version of business plan because it's so embarrassing. But I printed out not for a joke because I want to remember day one.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I would love to see that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so how did you put your own 30,000 in? When did you raise your first round of money, and how much did you raise, and when did you raise it?
So it took more than 18 months to 2 years to raise capital. So obviously I raised capital from I raised money from my best friend, literally. Because
like angels, you got angel investment.
Yeah, I did not know the word angel investment by then. And when I raised capital in 2007 and 8, New York City was not well known for startup. It was more Silicon Valley, and the overall startup scene was not abundant like today. These days, there's a lot of great investors and now far more educated. So what I did was angel investment, as you had mentioned, and I did not even know the words, but I had to hire a lawyer to write a term sheet, and the lawyer told me that, Saeju, that's called angel investment. Oh, okay, thank you. That's the way I got educated. The first check I received from my best friend from South Korea, and also we got the check from Artem's, the supervisor, the boss at Google, and also I got not a check at first, but a lot of help from people like an accountant, free service, Yeah. And a lot of people literally just want to help this young, poor, passionate two men, by the time. And it's quite a beautiful story, to be honest.
That's really nice. So you had a lot of people offering their free services, accounting. How about your lawyer? Did he charge you?
He charged me, but he charged based on equity, and also he gave a lot of bargain discount like that. So I am sure now, now our equity might be meaningful at this moment. But
I would say so.
Yes, Jennifer. Yes. So we got a lot of help. A lot of help from many different people. People are nice.
People, listen, there's a lot of acts of kindness, which are nice. They should be there. I wish there was more, but it's really nice when someone is starting out for other people to offer up their services, to help out. I think that's always, it comes back to you tenfold when you do that.
What I learned, there are many good people out there. And now if I can have a time machine, go back when I was late 20s, when I found Noom, I can tell why people helped me and Artem, because we were so naive, but we were passionate and we worked so hard.
Right.
And that's powerful. It's kind of magnetic. And I think that's why people want to help, because out of empathy. So some people wrote a check, $10,000, $20,000, $5,000, like that. Or someone I can help you for free. And they literally help for free. And also literally sometimes they feed me. Do you have food at home? Not much. Take this. Like a lot of,
Oh, that's so nice to
a lot
hear.
of times.
And
Yeah.
I love that. And I also think it's nice that, you know, what I think what you said is so said that it resonates. I think sometimes when you are naive, you have such when you think to yourself, well, why can't it happen? Or not knowing what the repercussions, and you just act, it's amazing how much can happen and how much success can happen from naivety. Like a lot of people get stuck because they think too much of like what can happen, how it can go wrong, or overthink it. But when they actually, not think, and they have that naivety about them, and they just move and go, like that to me is one of the key principles and qualities of truly successful entrepreneurs, when they have a level of naivety to make them to drive them to move and pursue.
Let me share one story. You may appreciate this. I agree with you. That's why I want to share one episode. I never actually shared this, but I will share. So I was so poor, Jennifer. I was poor, but this is the way I present myself. I was probably poor person by the time, because I gave all the dollars that I had, that I made in Korea for my first business. I gave it to my mother. My mother was not poor at all, but my mother, I just wanted to show my commitment that, Mom, your son is ready and I can actually do a good job. So give me a chance. That's how I came to United States with the little dollars I came. So I was probably poor. So I had to do some random work to pay the bill. I stayed in Long Island, North Massapequa, at the basement, and I paid $630 per month, including utility bill. $630 at the studio. So I was there, and I commute to New York City. Artem worked at Google by the time, as I mentioned, for 2 years. And Artem go to Google in the morning, and I receive his apartment key, and I work at Artem's apartment during the daytime. And then I also did some random work, like I sold the Verizon wireless plan to people. Then I get paid like per sale. I think I received $75 per person, like that, the voucher from Verizon wireless retail store.
Verizon Wireless, you were selling those programs, the plans.
That's what I did, Jennifer. I also sold like the gardening, the Caesar, and I sold like 99-cent perfume. I sold this like blind instruction, all that. Like that's how I get the dollars here and there, and I paid $630 per month to survive and learn English, all that, and build my network. And Artem, such a nice guy, he worked during the daytime at Google, and he brought some food because Google provides free food. So he brings some leftover, like sandwich and a drink. And then we eat together at 7 p.m. and work until like 1 a.m. every night, including weekend. And that's the way we built our first prototype. So one day I met one of my mentor through my mother, and he fed me over dinner and said, "So, Mr. Jeong, Saeju, young man, the CEO, but you are the alone. You are alone, okay, one-man shop." "Yes, sir." Okay. "And what's your plan? What's your vision? What's your business?" All that, I explained it. And at the end of dinner, he asked, like, "So, can you tell me one more time what you do during the daytime?" "Oh, I do some like random sales job because I need to pay the bill." "Okay. So, how much money are you making?" "I usually make like 3,000 plus more per month after tax." And I just kind of like brag about it. It's not so bad. And then he goes like, "You will never ever build a real business, because in order to make the $3,000 plus more, you're spending most of the valuable time during the day. And even if you put 100% your like focus to build the right business, you will likely fail. And now you are using your talent, which is sales skill, to pay the bill. And that is the way you are literally wasting your time. So how much money do you need for yourself?" "Oh, I'm a very light person, so I don't need that much money." "Okay, then for you, can you survive $50,000 per year?" "Oh, wow, that's a lot of dollars." "Yes, sir." "Okay. And how many people do you need?" And I explained, I need engineers, I need the designers, like that. "Okay, I will give you $500,000, but immediately you quit what you're doing, the side job, whatever. Pay attention on your vision and build it, and look for the talent that you need, engineers and product people, hire and then build it. And he gave me $500,000.
Wow, that's an amazing story.
And he never ever wrote a check, by the way, for this type of investment. He never ever gave money to someone, but somehow he gave it to me. And now he's quite happy with Noom, and he's my life mentor. But what I learned, the lesson learned from that event, time is the money. Opportunity is gold. So I was confused.
Totally.
And then I also convinced Artem, you need to stop Google. Google is paying him well, but you got to stop that because I need you 100%. We need to build the business together because what we claim, our statement, our mission is powerful. We gotta do like 120% work hard on this. And that's how we gave a birth. And then we after 2 years, and then we completely like head down and build a product.
I love that story. I think that is, I'm so glad that you shared that, because this is the kind of valuable information that I really want people to know and understand, because, you know, people think being an entrepreneur is glamorous, or it's sexy. And the truth of the matter is, literally almost everybody that I talk to, and myself included, actually, you know, it's not an overnight success. It's such hard work. There's such sacrifice. There's such like going without to hopefully to hopefully go with, you know, and to create your passion, make your passion into a true, to actually kind of create something that's real. And I mean, you legitimately are like a perfect example of somebody who's like, it was like a poster child for someone who had nothing, who was eating scraps and like basically selling perfume and Verizon wireless for how long until this. Who was the guy you said who gave you this $500,000?
So he did multiple business in LA and West Coast, and he's not a tech entrepreneur at all. But
who is he though? What does he do?
He's a self-made entrepreneur,
self-made what?
Entrepreneur. He made his fortune. Is an incredible immigrant, and he built his own fortune by. He import Samsung, LG product to United States. He import and export fashion product to Asia, all that. And then real estate, that's the way he built his own fortune. Very rich, but extremely frugal and humble person. And I think he had a little empathetic understanding that he has seen that. And you know what he said? He told me that two things. Number one, take my money and forget about all this like a part-time thing. Just pay attention to stick with your mission and work hard. That's the way you may have a better chance. Number two, once you start, he said, I can tell you will keep growing and you will have a hard time to get off from, you know, you are now right on Tiger, and getting off from Tiger is also going to be another the challenge. But we can talk about it once you're old enough. But now enjoy that ride.
That's amazing. How did you meet this man?
I met him through my mom. I did a lot of hustling, Jennifer. A lot of people ask me, how did I meet my co-founder? Because they are seeking for probably co-founder advice, right? And I'm telling you, I attended a lot of meetings, a lot of hustling, a ton of hustling, like a ton. Random events, really like random, like because of Verizon. How did I do that? Remember, I was in the basement. My landlord lady's best friend was Verizon retail store manager. And because I helped here and there, the housing, all that, so he remembered me. And, oh, you're a young man. Would you like to sell this program that I will give some voucher? Of course, I need a job. That's how I know her. I did a lot of random things. I participated. There are so many free networking events in New York City, which is, again, this is why I love New York City, the capital of international talent. So there's so many events sponsored by a lot of good companies. So I participated, dressed up, I behave, introduce myself, my vision and company, and that's how I interact. You'll be surprised. Our early member at Noom, a lot of Google engineers came. Why? Because I was at Google campus literally like every week to meet my co-founder. And Google is a very generous company. They feed the guests at their cafeteria. So I came. Of course, my brother Artem always invite me. And I am sitting at the same table and I wave my hands to other Google engineers. Matter of fact, they thought I was a Googler because I was there all the time. A lot of people think I was a Googler. Still, some people don't even know. They don't know that I was not a Googler. They still presume I was doing some business at Google. But I didn't do that. I just literally, I'm sorry to Google, but I had a free food out there and a free lunch, and I recruit engineers. But
I love it. Oh, I think this is so awesome. I love that. Wow. Okay. So how did you guys stay? Because this has been a lot of partnerships, co-founderships. There's a lot of like infighting, right? And you guys have kept such a strong bond, it seems. What's the secret sauce to keeping that relationship so strong? And
it's a mutual effort. It's a start with a trust. And also we really care the partnership. So because we know, like, if we don't have a tight communication trust, then people know at Noom. And that will be the seed of distrust and also dysfunction. So it's so bad because our mission is so powerful and it's honorable. We really embrace that. So we don't have like that luxury that we can have a fight against each other. And because Artem Petakov, my co-founder, has such a very like he's complete opposite of me in terms of personality and style. He is a strength. So I need him. 100%. And I hope I can deliver good value to Artem as well. So that's where we yin and yang and yin together. There's a lot of also over 14 years of partnership, professionally, 14 years of partnership. We spend our time to how we can overcome the like sometimes intense conversation, sometimes misunderstanding that. There's a lot of ways we can resolve it. So we always start with like, I have a different understanding. I want to know what was your view, and then we resolve it. For instance, every week we start with our session, founder session, on Monday morning. That's our first schedule. Every Friday we finish our week with the founder sessions, and then we put a lot of
just the two of you.
Yes. And also the other week we have a session 90-minute with a therapist, the coach, to make sure that we share anything might be difficult. The other week, 90 minutes, to just make sure we have a room. And I call that clearing session. I do that very often. So this is my expression to Artem. Artem, do you have anything left in your chest? Would you like to have a clearing session with me? And we do that before we finish the week. And then bi-weekly, we have a therapist. And one more, almost every weekend, we hang out together, Artem and I. Believe it or not.
You do?
I do, because he's my best friend. He's my best.
Still?
Yeah, best friend. Matter of fact, after this podcast, I'm actually meeting him at Central Park because we'll watch the Central Park movie together tonight with his kids and my kids like that. We are friends.
Okay, wait a second. Hold on. This is such a good... Okay, let me just get this straight, okay? So to maintain the strong bond between you and your co-founder, you guys have a Monday morning session. The first thing you do is a Monday morning hour session.
Correct.
Friday, the last meeting you have is together for another clearing of the session.
Yeah, and also business update. Yes.
And okay. And then the third is you have a therapist you see together every other week for 90 minutes to get anything else out of them. And then and 5, you then see each other on the weekends as
Yes,
well.
and we enjoy some like we like to consume the cheap wine, like $7 per bottle, $10. That's our ritual. We just drink a cheap bottle of wine. Now we have family. He has a family, so we even with the wives together and kids, and we have usually like a very long dinner, like 4 hours dinner, and we drink a bottle and then have a tea because Artem loves tea, so we have a tea, multiple teas, and conversation. We discuss, talk.
This is amazing. So, luckily or hopefully, your wives get along with each
Oh,
other.
they do. From the beginning, even before we married. I was best man at Artem's wedding, and he was my best man at my wedding. That level.
So how long have you guys been married for, both of you?
I've been married for now 11th year, and then Artem married for now 8 years.
8 years. How old are your kids? How old are his
My
kids?
kids are now 6 and 10, and then his kids are now 4 and 1.
Oh, so the kids aren't the same age or anything, but that doesn't matter. This is incredible. So, okay, wow. So you guys, and then how many people work at the Noom office besides the coaches who are all, I'm sure, virtual, correct?
Correct. So Noom headquarters, now the COVID-19 work remotely, but we are 400, something like that, at headquarters in New York City. And over 4,000.
Where are most of the subscribers based? Are they US based? Are they overseas?
US, United States.
But what's the percentage in the US?
United States and Canada together. North America is our major market, like around mid 80% of our users are North America at this moment.
Wow. Okay. And what exactly would you say? Okay, so I know now how you guys get along with each other exceptionally well. When was the big turning point for the company? When it went from you really kind of scraping by to then?
Sure thing.
Wow.
Sure thing, Jennifer. By the way, thanks for asking your full attention on our co-founder relationship. I do think you're right that it is very important. People just know, if I may comment on that. A lot of startup often co-founder start, right? There's the founders. And when founders struggles, companies struggle. Because founders are such an important, like the position. And when the partners are not working well, then it immediately impact to company morale. And also it does impact to the business and service. So know that we put the extra care. And at the end of the day, he's good, my friend. He's my best friend. So it's relatively easy to have any conversation. And obviously we became mature. Now I'm 40, right? When I started, I was 20, late 20. So over time, we learned that how we can resolve little matters. Because a little miscommunication can file up. If you don't resolve that, unfortunately, they became like the seed of misunderstanding, resentment, unfortunately, or the heart build the next trust. That's why I want to have a weekly or even sooner. Anything bothers, then we write it up and then we clear that clearing session. Have to clear from chest. It has to be
clearing session. I love
very
that.
Important. Clearing session, very important partners. Clear that. And also, obviously, like say sorry, forgive, understand, hug, build together. This is not only me and my co-founder, this is overall Noom's DNA too. We are kind people. That's the way we design the product. That's the way we approach our end users because we are empathetic people. We care about our end users. And we often celebrate, we often also cry together with the end user story because often they struggle with the lifestyle, they struggle with the weight, and weight loss is a very personal, very often stigmatized experience they had before. So we don't take that lightly, but we approach with like the best scientific approach, and we have helped millions. We take it with a pride that Noom can help the behavior change. And it does work. It does really work well. Now, let me answer your question about two turning points, the major two turning points. First, we struggled in the beginning that we developed a fitness application and calorie counting applications, but we realized we became number one in the ad market. But we didn't found the company to make a quick success and sell the company. We built a company, which is company mission, help many lives as many as we can by changing behavior. So we want to help many people's life. And we realize being a number one fitness application will not deliver that result, the promise. So we pivot major to weight loss. That was 7 years ago. That was first pivot. Now you may ask, why weight loss? I thought a lot of think, we thought Noom was like, first of all, they get shocked when I speak. It's a 14 years old history. Second shock, they think we start from weight loss from day one. No, we developed the fitness products, calorie counting products, and the weight loss. Then why weight loss? Because by losing more than 5% body weight, according to CDC, that will deliver great outcome of overall health, like the cardiovascular condition, and also preventive approach on any diabetes like that. So that's why it's our target. And also, the weight management is a great barometer of overall your health. That's why we pay attention to weight management as an index. But the way Noom approach is different. This is the part I mentioned. We use behavior change. We master the 4 pillar, again, diet, exercise, stress, and sleep, and do that. But now the second major point, the really tipping point for us, we forgot the most important part: human coach, empathy, the love. I know this sounds cheesy, but it's real.
So when you got the coaches in, that's when things really took action.
Oh my God.
Is there any?
Yes.
So let me ask you something. Are there other apps out there who have coaches?
Yes, they do. There are many.
Right. Lots. That's what I was going to say. I didn't want to be rude, but so then why is it that yours and you are still doing better? So
first of all, there were a lot of coaching companies before, and we interview the coaches and why are you coach, right? And often they answered, they are very kind and passionate people. They want to help people's life. Okay. So they apply, like you, Jennifer, by the way, just like you. You have a lot of passion in wellness and overall healthy lifestyle, and you are very knowledgeable about it. And you are sharing the good knowledge for goodwill, for good, literally, right? And like you, Jennifer, people want help. And now we ask, what is the most difficult part of your work? And a lot of our coach answer that they have to do a lot of repetitive work because they need to manage the client. And often the questions are same, repetitive, and also the way the coaches are given the task is a very repetitive task. So it builds a fatigue. So we had a moment, why don't we use technology that we can reduce the repetitive work can be replaced by software, but empower our coach so they can perform better. Performance, they can take care of each individual better. Use technology to reduce their fatigue work. That was
that's great.
And we put together, and we were so shocked, Jennifer. The first version of our product married with technology assisted with a human coach delivered 3 times better retention. Well, wow.
3 times better retention with the coach that was actually engaged.
Exactly.
So that was the difference. You for those very I guess it would be like the information that's kind of monotonous and people have to do over and over again. You kind of you kind of added a program so people didn't have to be bogged down by that.
Correct, Jennifer.
That's so smart. By the way, that's with everything in life, right? I think so many people, by the time they get through all the busy work, they're so exhausted, they can't really even give time for what they actually are there for.
Exactly, Jennifer. Well said.
I'm surprised. I mean, why are more people not doing that?
Because, and I will share our little, the know-how part. So we learned it's not so simple, Jennifer. Why is that? Because changing lifestyle, it is such a big project. There is a reason why a lot of users build a little unhealthy lifestyle. There's a reason why. Often it's not about they not know about that food is bad. There's a deeper reason why.
Absolutely. It's never about the food.
There you go. relationship,
Yeah.
work, stress from the work,
Stress.
pressure, anxiety, and bad sleep, sedentary lifestyle, that all become a root cause of why they are stuck with a bad habit. And also food education. A lot of Americans they didn't have proper education about the nutrition and diet. You know this very well, Jennifer. So they built a wrong relationship on food and nutrition. And the motivation, another factor. So it's a very personal. So it's not just overnight, like, oh, we can figure this over technology and we can really change the way human behave. No.
Mm-hmm.
But we promise, and that's our company mission. We took a challenging task, which is we will use technology to scale the service that's proven by science, put the human coach and amplify their love and empathetic help, and use the latest modern technology to scale the service and help every individual Noomers can get better. That's our promise, and we are working very hard to make that happen.
So what would you say your top advice would be for people listening for setting achievable goals? Like, of all the stuff that you've seen, all the stuff with the people that you've noticed, the app, millions and millions of subscribers, what would you say give us some top tips on how to set achievable goals?
I would say I'll start with very often the first time Noom users are setting a very ambitious goal. And we have to advise them, like, let's set a reasonable, realistic goal that you can change your behavior over time, that is not rushed, but you can really form the healthy habit for you and you own it. So that's the first. So let's set a realistic goal. And
setting realistic goals. Yep.
And let's surely build a habit that becomes yours. That way you don't have to put the hard effort every time, because it becomes your habit.
Perfect. Okay, I like that one.
And second, we also want to make sure, let's not just pay attention about weight loss, because a lot of users came to Noom for looking for how to lose weight. But let's be gentle. Let's learn about what root cause of my lifestyle, what is root cause of the matter, and let's open that up. Let's build a healthy relationship to myself. So applied psychology, we help our end users to open that up. Why do you want to lose weight? And we keep asking why until you truly figure the deep root cause of the desire. Why do you want to lose weight? And surprisingly, it's not often because of vanity reason, because there's health issues. Then we ask more further, then often it's because it's out of love, because they want to take care of a family or they want to be there. There is a major number one reason that people join Noom platform. It's powerful.
You mean it's not, the number one reason for people joining Noom is because they want to lose weight to be there for their family, not for vanity
I
reasons.
just skip all the why, but that's
all the
common reason, because they want to get healthy.
What's the success rate?
Our more than 68% of users lose more than 5% body weight within 5 to 6 months, and they keep it up.
And they keep it off.
Yes, that's our powerful the efficacy. We deliver great outcome, and it's a very organic way. So that's second. Third, pay attention how you can forgive yourself, right? Be nice to yourself. A lot of users are hard on themselves, so they when they arrive to Noom platform or when they engage how to lose weight, their confidence level is very low. Or, as I mentioned, unfortunately, the previous weight loss experience was difficult, so it became stigmatized. But think about it this way: if you start your own dating again, if you have a relationship, it's very difficult to forget about what happened before. But for your benefit and for your future partner, you need to start new. reset the relationship. You cannot carry on for the benefit of you, yourself. So be nice to you, meaning like it's okay that the past is okay. We don't ignore that, but we understand. But it's not your fault. It's okay. So start from very healthy foundation ground. That way you can build a very positive and strong confidence. You need that. You need to believe in yourself, build a very strong confidence. That way, this all positive fly will bring it back to you. And that's the way you can become I want to learn about diet. I want to learn about exercise. I want to manage my stress better. I need to pay attention to my resting, which is sleep, so I can be ready for tomorrow. That's all important. So we encourage end users, our Noomers, that embrace yourself and then don't hard on yourself. That's the very key message that we...
Noomers?
Noomers.
Like Googlers.
Yeah, we call Noomers.
Is that where you got it from? The Googlers?
Probably yes.
Yes.
We call Noomers.
Okay, the last thing I have to ask you is, what are your daily habits? What do you do every day? Give me a day in the life of you, Saeju Jeong.
Thank you. So I developed a little better version of our Noom, the COVID-19 with the Noom. For instance, I really pay attention what I eat and how I...
But wait. What time do you wake up in the morning?
I usually wake up without alarm clock, by the way. That's the very important part. I usually wake up around 5:30 to 6 o'clock in the morning, but without clock. That means I need to go to bed.
Right. You're by a lot. Yeah.
Exactly.
What time do you go to bed?
I set the goal 10 o'clock, 10 or 10:30.
Okay.
And I wake up with no alarm clock, and I do that every day. That means, again, I need to be disciplined. At night, I go to bed. Not easy, but I successfully accomplished that new habit. So I go to bed early.
It is hard.
Exactly. But I wake up early for many benefits. Number one, I feel refreshed because I go to bed. I went to bed early and then have like at least 6 to 7 hours deep focused sleep. Very important. Second, it's quiet. So I wake up earlier than my wife, my kids. So I have my own time, which is a great time. I can do two things: meditation, exercise. So meditation. So I meditate, like I just screen my body sense, 5 senses. And also I think about positive matters. I think about the difficult matters and I use that energy, the difficult matters. What gave me some, down my energy, difficult matters, and think about the energy to flip flop, thinking, this is a learning opportunity. This is a learning opportunity. Think about that. And then I ask the best people that I know. I apply my hustling skill and I immediately jot down sometimes paper, sometimes email. And I just ask, I'm in trouble or I need your help. I need advice. Then you know what, Jennifer? People want to help. People want to help. So
yes, sometimes.
Yeah, but I of course I ask politely, but I do that. So two things. And exercise. I do exercise.
How long do you meditate for?
Not much. Usually like in 15 minutes. Short for
that's a lot.
15 minutes. Easy, because I make coffee in the morning. And having coffee give me good aroma, so I can use my 5 senses. But no, I can use more smell. It's good. Digest that, but think about it. That's pretty good.
15 minutes. And then how long? And then you go right into exercise for how long?
Usually 45 minutes. So 30 minute cardio and then 10 minute strength, and then take a shower and I start my day. I love it.
What kind of cardio do you do?
So I do a rowing machine. I do stationary cycling. I also went out to Central Park when the weather is good. If I go to Central Park, then it's a 45 minutes straight jogging.
So you do 35 minutes cardio, 10 minutes strength.
Yes.
And then do you have breakfast? What do you do for eating?
I follow my body rhythm, meaning like if I feel hungry, then I eat, but I don't do IMF. But if I don't eat big breakfast, but I follow how my body reacts. So usually like have 2 slices of apple and coffee. That's my breakfast. Sometimes like a little more, but I don't set the rule, but I make the stomach light in the morning.
Any other habits, daily habits?
Yeah, I do have another good habit I want to share with you, that I know when I get stressed, I know there's some like a signal that I will get stressed out of this conversation. I have seen this before, all that. Then the breathe in, breathe out, like 7 or 9 times. Immediately lower my heartbeat. It does.
Really?
It does.
Okay. That's good. I know people swear by that. So you do that. Did I stress you out on this call?
No,
Or in this
your
podcast?
session is very unique because you pay attention. Most of the podcast didn't ask because I think you are curious about the story behind why, which is a very similar way how Noom is approaching to our end users, right? We don't start the program like you need to do that and do that. We don't start that way because we don't want information dumping to our end users. We want to ask why.
Yeah, I'm very much.
Mm-hmm.
No, for me, I'm an extremely curious person. I love to understand why everything is how it is. Besides, I don't love the surface stuff. Like you can give me the stuff like, okay, the company does this and you do that. Wonderful. Now I want to hear how it all happened. I like to understand order, like chronologically how things have happened and how it happened. I love the devil is in the details. Right. I love the details and the nuance because you learn. Like I feel that I've now learned so much more about the company and who you are by some of those stories versus just only knowing, that you made $400 million. Noom made $400 million last year. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is much more of a overall broader understanding.
That's right.
And a picture.
I much appreciate that. That's right, Jennifer. That's very. No, that's your super magic, by the way. That's super strengths. That's very magnetic, and that's the way I actually did it too. When I interact at the event, what people call hustling, but I put a real effort to learn about what, how, why, like that, but politely, like you, Jennifer.
Thank you. I take that as a big compliment. I appreciate that. Well, can you just tell everyone how to find, if they want to, if they're interested in Noom or you, where they can go? And
Noom is
go to the Apple or wherever you download downloads, not podcast, the apps, and check out Noom. How about you? Do you have your own Instagram or?
So Noom is easy to find, Noom.com for sure.
I know. I was going to say, that's good. Noom.com. That's what I needed you to say. Good. Check out Noom.com. Download Noom if you are interested in behavior modification, weight management. And I think, is that all you want to say? How about you? You don't want people to look for you, right? You just want to kind of stay over there and do your job, right?
Well, Noom is a community, right? We call Noomily ourselves. Noomily, our people. I call Noomily.
Noomily? I thought you called them Noomers.
Noomers are our users. They are our
Oh, okay.
And we who build a Noom product, we call Noomily, and I call them Noomily System Brothers. We work really hard. We are passionate people that we can help lives. It means a lot to us, and that gets us very excited. So for us, we want to put the best effort to figure how we can help our Noomers to build a healthy habit for helping them to have a higher quality lifestyle and have a healthy outcome for a long time.
I love it.
And we are here to make that change happen. And we believe as we progress our product and service, we will surely make a big impact in overall healthcare. Hopefully, Noom can contribute, shifting the focus from sick care first to preventative approach and holistic care in healthcare. That's our hope.
I love it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't hang up yet, but I want to say, I want to speak with you for one moment, but I want to say thank you again for coming on the podcast. This was a very informative session, and I actually loved hearing your stories. I thought that were very, very insightful and useful for people because it really talks to what it takes to make a successful company, to make a successful brand. And I want to say thank you for sharing with those stories with me.
Thank you very much for asking that. The story, early days of Noom, you gave me the gift today that I could actually revisit our early days, which is our foundation. Thank you, Jennifer. And thank you for the opportunity that I could speak on behalf of all the Noomilis and our millions of Noomers. Thank you.
Habits and hustle, time to get it rolling. Stay up on the grind, don't stop, keep it going. Habits and hustle, from nothing into something. All out, hosted by Jennifer Cohen. Visionaries, tune in, you can get to know them. Be inspired, this is your moment. Excuses, we ain't having that. The Habits and Hustle podcast, powered by Habit Nest.